and then we are good to go. So, Oes, hi there, welcome all. Good to have you back again on a Super Saturday. Today we would like to work on tactics. As we said in the chat, we would like to work on a little bit of tactical stuff because, you know, most of the time people go into a training, they do whatever they told to be doing. But I think we would like to give you something else. So if there's things you struggle with or something, if you think about sparring one of your club mates, which is very hard, please let us know so we can definitely work on this, and just enjoy, have a good session with each other. I don't really have a lot to add, so I'm just gonna give a little bit of time to Darren if he has something to add, and then we'll start off with a warm-up.
Not a great deal. I mean, just bear in mind that like with everything, it doesn't work for everybody. So you need to analyse kind of your strengths and weaknesses and go from there in terms of tactics as well. So don't just think that one glove will fit all. But enjoy today, and if you've got any more questions, just add them in, and we'll try and address them. We've got a few in there already, but hey, there's never too many, right? We've always got many weeks.
We got 90 minutes to cover, to be fair, so quite enough to do.
Enjoy.
Oh, me and Darren are always quite bad on time. Last Tuesday we thought we had loads of time, and then again we didn't. So
yeah, very true.
All right then, welcome all. So let's start off with a little warm up. I've got a little bit of tight shoulders. Already did a cat. I did a cat session today. It's amazing. Yeah, it's crazy. Awesome. Yeah, let's do a little bit of warm up. We'll just start off on the place. Move side to side, left, right, left, right, left, right. Us.
Nice.
So there we go. And it's she, sun, she, go, roxish, ash, go, ju, me, sun, she, go.
Okay.
You having it?
Yeah, I've got it.
And it's she, sun, she, ash, Q. 10 more. It's she, sun, she, roxish, ash, Q, ju. We make it a bit bigger. Itchy, sunchy, go, roxish, ash, Q, ju. Itchy, sunchy, roxish, ash, Q. 20. Itchy, sun, go, roxish, ash, Q. 30. Itchy, sunchy, roxish, ash, Q. 40. We're gonna make it even bigger. Really jump to the side. Us. 40. Itchy, sunchy, roxish, ash, Q. Yeah. Go, 30, Sanchi, Roxish, Ash, Q, 40. All right, little jumps, forward, backward, small jump. Oh, there we go. And Sanchi, Ash, Q, 2, Sanchi, go, Ash, Q, 20, she, go, Roxish, 30-ish, 40. We're gonna make him a little bit bigger. And there we go. And itchy, sunchy, go, fish, ash, go, ju, itch, sunchy, go, ash, go, ju, itch, she, go, rock, fish, ash, sanju, itchy, sunchy. Roxish, ash, you, yonju, bigger again, and it's she, roxish, ash, go, you, it's she, san, she, go, roxish, ash, go, need you, it's me, san, she, go, roxish, ash, you, sanju, it's me, san, she, go, roxish, ash, go, yonju, and shake loose again. Us. One more thing, what we're gonna do, switch, us. So what you're actually gonna do, you're gonna switch, and also you just try to go in different directions. Us, 40 times again, and please stay on the balls of your feet. Us, with them good looking calves. There we go, and it's knees and rook, sish, ash, go, ju, ni, san, shi, rook, sish, ash, ju, ich, ni, san, go, rook, sish, ash, san, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, sish, ash, go, junju. And bigger ones, he, san, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, ju, ich, ni, san, go, rook, sish, go, ni, ju, ich, ni, san, go, rook, sish, you, sanju, ich, chi, go, rook, sish, you, yonju. Last one. Biggest as you can, as big as you can. Us, so nearly like a lunge position. 40, and ich, san, shi, rook, sish, ash, ju, ish, ni, chi, go, rook, ash, go, ni, ju, ish, san, shi, rook, sish, ash, ju, ish, ni, chi, go, sish, ash, go, san, ju, ish, san, shi, go, sish, ash, ju, and shake yours again. Good. Little warm-ups on the legs. We're going to do some squats. There we go. And ni, san, chi, go, rook, sish, ash, go. 10 more. Ni, san, chi, go, rook, sish, ash, go, knee. Just easy knee forward and try to make them a little bit driving in with a little more washy bit at the end. Us, use the hips to warm them up again. Us, there we go. And ich, knee, san, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, go, ju, ich, knee, san, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, go, niju. Now, probably won't be used a lot, but what you do is you go outside a little bit. Us with the knee, 20 times. There we go. Ich, knee, san, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, go, ju, ich, knee, san, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, go, aisha. Good. Full circles like this. Try to stay on the outside of your shoulders. Us. 20. Ich, knee, san, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, go, aisha, knee, san, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, go, aisha. Last exercise to warm up the hips. Go inside out, but also you keep them on the outside of your shoulders. Us really want you to make a circular movement to the outside. Us. They're a little bit tight. We try to use them a lot when we go kicking today. Us. There we go. 20 and ich, knee, san, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, go, shia, knee, san, shi, go, rook, sish, ash, go, aisha. Good. All right. Little twists. Ich, knee, san, shi, go, rook, shish, ash, go, antai, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, go, aisha. Right. So we're gonna warm up the arms again. So arms, shoulders, chest, back a little bit. Us. So I'm gonna stand in a position like a little bit bigger than a furudachi. Us. I'm gonna be standing on the balls of my feet. I'm gonna be a few degrees forward. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pull back. Us. I'm gonna do 20 of these. Us. There we go. And ich, ni, san, chi, go, ruk, sish, ash, go. Yeah. Ich, ni, san, chi, go, ruk, ish, ash, go, aisha. I'm gonna make them a little bit higher, so they're gonna be the chest height. Again, I'm a little bit forward, and I'm gonna pull back, but I'm not going from there, but I'm going outside. Us, are we clear on this?
Us.
There we go. And ich, ni, san, chi, go, ruk, ish, ash, go, yeah, ish, ni, san, chi, go, ruk, ish, ash, go, aisha. And again, I'm still on the balls of my feet. Now I can have a little rest. I'm gonna do the last. I'm gonna be the height of my eyes, and I'm gonna bring them down. So I'm gonna really close my shoulders to each other. I'm going downwards and up, downwards and up. Us.
Us.
Right. So I need to get a little tape later. But first do this. There we go. And ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, go, aya, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, ish, ash, go, aisha. All right. So, okay. This is a little bit warm. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to start off with small uppercuts like this. And we've got 5 stages. Us. So the first stage is small movements. Second stage, a little bit bigger. Third stage, a little bit bigger. Fourth stage, a little bit bigger. Fifth stage, really reaching out. Us. Remember, it's not about the punch, it's about the warm-up of the body. Us. All right, there we go. And first stage. As you see, not a lot of movement in my upper body. Here we go. Second stage. A little bit more movement in the upper body. Keep moving. Third stage. A little bit more movement. Fourth stage. Fifth stage. And shake loose. So we're going to do the same with the hooks. Small up to very wide. Us. And again, I don't want you to punch like this. But it's a warm-up. There we go, first stage. Second stage. Third stage. This is probably the most normal one for you all. Fourth stage. Fifth stage. And loose. All right, last straights. Us. So, first stage, second stage, third stage, fourth stage, fifth stage. Us. Are we here? There we go. And first. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. And shake loose. Good. Inside. And outside. All right, just shoulders forwards and backwards. Good. So, a little warm. At least I am. So, let's take a quick little drink, and then we go over to the first combination. Us. First combination, what we will work on today is a question as well. What if I'm close by and getting smothered by my opponent? So I think this is probably, for most people, this is probably the hardest part, the hardest bit. So let's work on that. And then when Darren is, when it's Darren's turn, I'm gonna get a little tape for my feet because, such as Darren, I got baby feet. Right then. So first thing what we're gonna do is when we're getting smothered by our opponent, really close by all the time. When I go left, he comes by. When I go right, he comes by. All the time getting chased by my opponent. Very annoying, very probably a Japanese and East European way of fighting. Close by, strong, all the time, under your skin. It's very annoying and also very hard. Because when you need the space for yourself, then it's pretty annoying. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use probably the most effective technique to an opponent who comes close by, and that is inside low kick. Because when they come in and when they get inside low kick, they lose their legs. Obviously not with a flick, but with a proper inside low kick. You can split the legs. What we're gonna do is we're gonna think about being close by. Probably my guard is up there. Inside low kick, uppercut underneath. So I'm gonna be standing over here, inside and up. Which means split and bring the body up again. Split, bring the body up again. 10 on the left, 10 on the right. Exercise over to Mr. Stringer. Clear on this? There we go. And move. Knees. Punch. Sheesh. Gauche. Rush. Sesh. Ash. Gauche. Ash. Aisha. Mawate. Right leg in front. Right leg in front. When I'm standing like this, when I step back a little bit to make a little movement and a little bit how do I say that? Space for myself. When I go back, this means they come forward. So at this time, straight, go in there. Make a little space for yourself to move in. There we go. Knees. Punch. Sheesh. Gauche. Rush. Sesh. Ash. Gauche. Last one. Good. All right. First exercise, crunches, 20 times. So, down to the floor and just be 1, 2, like this. You can keep your feet off the floor, you can keep your feet on the floor. I don't really care. 20 times. And knee, sun, chi, go, rock, sesh, ash, go, knee, sun, chi, go, rock, sesh, ash, go, yeah. Stand up without using hands. Over to stringer.
Whoosh. Get yourselves a little drink, people. Okay.
Right back.
Yeah, no worries. Cool. So smothering is as Wesley said, probably a common theme when we fight people that are generally bigger, stronger. They want to take away your space and they want to get in really close, which obviously leaves you in a position where either you're throwing weak techniques or you don't have the space to create techniques. Like for Wesley, example, he has quite long limbs, so he likes a bit of space to be able to throw his techniques. I have short limbs, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm really strong within the side. Inside low kicks is fantastic to create the space, but you need to make sure that you don't hit the knees. So do be aware that don't come around in this fashion when you're throwing those kind of techniques. What we're going to do is we're going to be in a close position as well. The person's going to be here and we're going to step out at 45 degrees. Now, we need to step away from the person's strong back leg, okay? And that doesn't necessarily mean that is their strongest leg, but what it means is they need to adjust their space this way, okay, or this way to meet you again. Whereas if we go towards the back leg, A, we could get hit, and B, it's a very simple turn that's this way that then means they can push forward yet again, okay? And what we want to do is make it a little bit difficult. The body doesn't move as easy this way. Yes, we can do this, but it's also a more time-consuming process to do that movement. So what we're going to do is you need to envision where your partner is on all of these working aspects, because unless you're envisioning how they stand, how their makeup is, you're just throwing techniques and you're not really thinking about the tactics that exist within that for them. So what we're going to do is we're going to step forward and out to the side. So we need to, hold on, let me just move my friend. I will show you distance-wise. So here is where our partner will exist, and we can throw techniques in and out, and most of his strong techniques are going to come around this way. So what we want to do is we want to peel off the side here, that then gives us space to deliver a multiple amount of techniques that we want, really. But you need to make sure that we're moving out and to the side, not to the side and not forward, because we don't have the space anyway. The person's here, stuffing us up, giving us a hard time, in, out. We've now got the space. He now needs to turn, and we've now got the advantage because he has to turn first, then steady himself, and then start throwing techniques or pushing forward. It's at that moment that when he turns, you have the freedom to deliver several techniques, okay? So that's what we're going to work on. We're going to be here, in, out, wait for the person to move, turn, because we don't want to hit them to the back, etc. Then we're going to capitalize, okay? So, out, in, Jaku, Shtaski, and then we're going to hit a good low kick after that, okay? Move the person, 1, 2, hit. All understand? We all good with it? 10 on the right, 10 on the left, exercise, back to Wesley. Okay? Let's go. Ready? Remember, stay in nice and tight. Don't be like all of this kind of space because we're not going to be able to fight up close here. We want to keep our balance nice and central in position. So this is not very normal length stance for myself and Wesley. We tend to be a little bit longer, but you need to steady your balance to move quickly to the side. Okay? Right, let's go. Ready? And back. Change legs. Same thing. We need to imagine, although not many people will fight southpaw, we need to imagine they will be the same. Step off to the side. Don't get confused about which way we're going. Change the angle. Wait for that person to start adjusting. Then we hit. Okay? Ready? Let's go. Go! Good. Okay. So we are going to go down into a push-up position. We're not doing push-ups. We're doing air squat thrust here. Okay. Up and back out. Okay. Just 10. Ready? Let's go. H, E, 10, G, go. H, H, G. Yeah. Get yourself a good drink. Back over the pond.
Nice. Quick little drink, guys. So today will be various short kind of tactics on something we work on. Where we normally build like a combination. We can still do this, but we'd like to give you as much as possible within the 90 minutes we train with each other to work on this. The tactic Darren just used is a very, very good way, because if you step away in the right position, you're playing a game of chess. When he or she comes forward and you don't think about the way you go, they are the ones attacking you, and they are the ones leading the fight. When you try and dare to step away in a proper way so you can throw the technique, just as we just did with Darren, then you are the one leading the fight, although you're probably not the one who's attacking most, but attacking smart. So we've done a little bit of side jumps at the warming up, so I'd like to do that as well. So as we are over here, we again still in the close distance way. What I want you guys to do is go left with a little uppercut, go right with a little uppercut, and go left again with a little uppercut. This way, my opponent doesn't know, hey, where to go now. Because I want to follow up, but every time he moves, this opens up. He moves, this opens up. He moves, this opens up. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. And now from there, straight knee to the face. Just 1, 2, 3. Thinking, hey, I need to go down because this person is attacking my stomach. The moment I'm attacking the stomach, elbows go down a little bit, and I can do the knee to the side. I'm close. So when I'm close, the eyes go focused on what's happening in front of yourself. So at this time, 1, 2, 3, getting hit there, the focus is going to be there, arms are probably going there. Obviously, this is not 100% always happening, but this is what we're aiming for. So we're standing over there, and this means the sides will open up. For me, this is a very good technique because I got long legs, I got long limbs. For Darren, this is probably not the best techniques because of his short, small legs. Very flexible. So now we will do this with a hizagiri.
you can obviously change this into a mawashigiri. So bring up the knee as high as you can and flick out the mawashigiri. And I think if you look at the 05 knockout from Darren, this was a very, very short mawashigiri, the one in the world tournament. A very short mawashigiri from a short range distance. He stepped out and flicked it out. Us. So this is what we're aiming for. For now, just the knees. Us. Good question. 1, 2, 3. Front leg, back leg. So I'm left leg forward, left, right leg, all the way over there. Us. All clear on this?
Push.
Good. Come on, take. There we go. Standing over here. Close by. Knees. Good. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Sha. Sish. Ash. Sha. Push. Sha. Last one. Sha. Isha. Oh, that was good. I felt it good. I saw you guys doing great. Right leg forward. So jump to the right, left, Stasky. Jump to the left, right, Stasky. Jump to the right, left, Stasky. Left knee on the top. Us. Clear on this. And ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Sish. Ash. Cool. Last one. Good. All right. On the backs again. Doing Russian twist. Us. Left, right is 1. Us. Break 30. Us. Legs up and itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Sish. Ash. Go. Itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Go. Ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Sish. Ash. Go. Aisha. Good. Stand up. Don't use these bad boys. Quick little drink. Over to Super Stringer. Us. Well done, guys. Is any of you not getting what we're doing? Or is this all very good for you? Please let us know.
And also if there's any questions.
And also, are there any questions?
Keep it simple, really simple, like yes, no, they're the questions. Good.
I have to say, Amaya, you're doing an amazing job. Well done.
Yes, good work, young lady. First time joining us. Hopefully you're enjoying it.
What a champ.
Hopefully the Dutch man's accent isn't too much for you to deal with in South London. Okay, right, so there's a point when the person gets so close to you that it's very difficult for you to deal with that. Now, in an ideal world, we wouldn't let that person get that close, and that is an ideal world because it's impossible. You could be in control of the fight as much as you want, and me and Wesley have had this like a million times because everybody knows Darren's really flexible, he can kick really good. Wesley's really good at kicking, he can kick really good. Therefore, they don't want to get kicked in the face. So in their mind, they're thinking, if we come closer, we stop this from happening. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Sometimes works for us, sometimes doesn't work for us. But you need to be able to adapt in those situations. So it's a very natural thing. If someone is probably beating you probably more technically within the fight, those people want to take away the distance from you. But there has to be that stage. We don't start off in my friend again. We don't walk onto the mat and go, show me right, push me right, push the taking you right, push, come on, take, and he starts off here. This distance exists after the parameters are reduced, okay? So there is always a stage when this person comes from here to here. Now, for many people, they get all caught up in the moment that the person's slowly stealing time off of them. What happens is for most people, maybe me and Wesley are very different in this, that we drive in quite quickly, but a lot of people, they tend to really steal your space slowly off of you. And then all of a sudden you find yourself getting more and more condensed in this situation. So I always found that if the person is coming in, we're going to try and stop them at the moment that best suits us. Because too far away, we miss, too close, and then we start getting here. Now, I always use good old basic Gyaku ski. Like in the UK, we do Wuko and clicker-based techniques like this all the time. The trouble is with a lot of people, they want to hit their Gyaku ski here and think that this here is going to stop the person's momentum. It's not. If the person is as strong as they feel they are to come forward and steal your space, here is too late to hit the person. What we need to do is steal this space, and even if that person is too close, what we're going to do is we're going to drop this back so that we can get this arm nice and straight. Now, Nick DaCosta used to do this really well. He used to bounce on the outside, come in, bang, and he was the one coming in. But it can be used on the reverse. So the person comes in, we hit, and then we're going to use Wesley's inside low kick that we used earlier. And I used to use this a hell of a lot when I started out. I was tiny, I was 60 kilos, I'm 5 foot high. Wesley's what, 5'10", 5'11", something like that?
Yeah, 5'10" at least.
Yeah, he's a lot taller than me. And then you had people that were 10, 12 kilos heavier than me. It was too much for me to try to stop them here. So what I did is, as they're prodding in, we take the weight, we anchor into the background. And this is where our basics in Renraku becomes incredibly important. Hanshi's always moaning at people, when you're doing your Renrakus, we're just doing this. We're just doing this, okay? At the moment, our foot is pointing out this way. Therefore, there's nothing stopping us coming back this way. A proper Renraku and syllabus-based technique, you should be here on a straight line so that we can take all the weight on that straight line ankle and really hit through that center line here. And that's what I practice on loads to start off with. Okay, so what's gonna happen is the person's gonna come in, we're gonna stop them here, and then we're gonna cut away their space. And then we can move off from that position if we don't want to get involved in that tight situation. Okay, so we're going to be there, drop in, cut through to the back leg inside, or the front leg inside, it depends how you fight the person, and then we got the space. Okay, hit, Gyaku, front leg inside, remember, not around, up at the angle like we're almost kicking a football, 45 degrees to angle this out. Okay, we don't want to worry about kicking the knees. Everybody understand this. It's really simple, but you need to make sure that this back foot is pointing on a straight line when we're here and hit this Gyaku. If we're here, the hip's pointing out this way, the weight can still push back this way, and what's going to happen is we're going to end up leaning back rather than getting our weight forward on that inside low kick. All good? Let's go. 10-10. A little bit of a long explanation there, but let's go. Ready? Left leg forward. So right hand, left leg. Okay, ready? And then we can use that straight line to really drive forward. Visualize the person coming towards you. Where's good? Judge my distance. Sheesh! Bang! Go. Go! Change legs. Straight line. Here. Here. Drive through. Really tear that leg out. Let's go. Ready?
Oh shit! Sorry, I thought it was 10 already.
Never mind. You just beat yourself. It's okay. Don't you worry.
Yeah. You big old cheater.
Now we go. And we're going to be doing push-ups. As we do the push-up, what we're going to do is we're going to try and drive off the ground a little bit. And then when we land, this is where we want this strong arm. When we do this, to stop the person. Okay? So we're going to be here, here. So we get used to the weight hitting in on our full body to drive that punch in and hold that person. That's all we want to do. If we drop them, excellent. If we hold them, we can manipulate them. Okay? Let's go. Ready? Just 10. 8, 9, 10, 9, go. Up. Push. Push. Good. Get quick drink over to Wesley.
Us.
Good for everybody, we hope.
Us.
Is this useful for you, or is it just a load of rubbish?
Right then. So get yourself a quick little drink. Then I have one more thing, and this is kind of exotic, to be fair. Probably, well, maybe not used by any before. And if you have a referee which is very strict, this might be giving you a chewy or something, because it kind of looks like you try to throw your opponent, or try to grab your opponent and throw him to the floor. So what we're gonna think of is we were too late with the thing Darren just gave us. We were too late. This happens, you know. Fighting is a mind game. It's a chess game. Sometimes you're too late. Sometimes the opponent gives you something and you'll be like, darn it, missed it. Hopefully this is not something on your face and then you wake up and think, darn it, I missed something. But we're trying to do something. So this is something you have to try from extremely close distance. So and then I'm talking about like end of the fight, maybe after like 5 or 6 minutes, you're tired, standing there toe to toe. We all know the fights. What I'm gonna do, my opponent is left leg in front of me and I'm left leg in front of me. I'm gonna step away. I'm gonna step to the side of the leg. So this is my opponent's leg. This is my leg. This is how close we are. I'm gonna step away and gonna put my back kind of to my opponent. At this time, when my left leg is behind his left leg, I'm gonna bring back my leg to the place where I was, and at that same time, I'm gonna punch the chest. I'm gonna one. So I'm gonna bring this to my opponent. At this time, the liver will open up. So I'm gonna be standing over here 1, 2. Chest, bring it down. Try to open up the liver and catch him with a quick knee onto the liver. Us. And bear in mind, people, this is something you can use 1, maybe 2 times in a tournament. When you do a lot of fighting for grading or stuff like that, you can use this quite a lot if you're not the only one fighting. But it's something very different, and your opponent wouldn't, they'd be like, what's this? You know what I mean? So, one more time. I'm standing over there. 1, 2. This is what I'm doing. 1, 2. Os. Sweep it back, and really drive in the knee. Os. Open up and hit. Clear? 10 on the left, 10 on the right. Exercise, and then probably, well, maybe Darren's got something for the close distance. Otherwise, we'll pick another thing. One of the questions. Os. Good. Come on, stay there. Knee. Sun. Stay close. Go. Rock. Bring it away. Round. Six. Ash. Go. Last one. Now not the knee to the liver, knee to the face. Yes. Aisha. Yeah. Good. And die. Other side. Close by. Step 1, 2. Right arm, right leg. There we go. Edge. Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Rock. Chest. Ash. Go. Last one, people. High knee. Chest. Aisha. Yeah. Good. And again, on the backs. Us. So, feet are on the floor. I'm gonna leave this over here. All the way, my arms are back. I'm going up, and back, and down. Us. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 movements. I'm gonna make 10. Us. But make them in a smooth movement. Us. There we go. MIK. And edge. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Sesh. Ash. Go. Aisha. Good. Stand up. Quick little drink. Over to Sensei Darren Stringer. Us, main man with a plan.
Woo. All good. We hope. Continue on the very close theme. Everybody gets caught into the world of Morshes. I'm the same. I love a Morshi. It's my favourite kick, probably. I don't like my Gary's. I like other kicks as well, but most of the time, all the people are using Morshes. Now, what's the problem with Morshes? When people get really close, they're often now really redundant. So we're here, and we're throwing a Morshi. All of a sudden, it's no good. I'm a Morshi guy, and now I can't use it because the person's right close to me. He realizes that this is a really strong technique, be it Gidan, Chudan, or Jordan, and There we go, let him in. And all of a sudden, my space is taken away and I can't do any of that. Get down, shoot down, draw down. Yeah, I can still kick them all, but the distance is totally wrong. Okay, so you've got one or two options here. We don't do Mawashis, okay, no problem. Or we need to adjust ourselves to do the Mawashis, okay. We're going to do both, okay. We're not going to do the Mawashi and then we're going to adjust for the Mawashi as well. Okay, what loads of people don't do is they don't knee to the thigh when they're really close. Now, I thought Danny Redondo way back.
2010. I coached you, 2010.
Wesley coached me.
Yeah.
And it was in Spain
Barcelona.
at the time, and I'm a little bit older than Danny, so he probably knew how I fought a little bit, and he actually did close me down, and he was near me in the thighs and in some not very pleasant places as well. But the fact was, he knew that being in this close, this was never going to work, and this is really annoying. It's a really sharp object that penetrates into the thigh, and we're going to use this as a starter in what we want to do. Okay, so we're going to be in really close, where you're kind of maybe Shtaskis over in this direction. What we're going to do is we're going to hit a short, sharp one to the thigh. Don't think about really tearing him out. We just want to penetrate nice and deep into the muscle with the knee. One, and then as we do this, as we take this back, we're going to scoot back and then kick with the same leg. Okay, so we're going to be in close. 1, 2, in. Because what's happened is it's probably going to be the front thigh that we hit. This is going to happen as we hit. Try not to hit up really high. We want mid thigh is the maximum height we want to hit here. Okay, because what we want to do is have this effect. If we hit too high, it's just going to maybe do this. But we'd like this to happen, where the leg goes from bent to straight, hit here, then in, and then hit exactly the same space again with the Gidan Mawashi. Okay, so we're in nice and tight here. 1, coming around or straight through. The trouble with coming straight through is what happened to me. It goes between the legs. So I'm always a safety on the warning side person. I like not to get warned. I like to fight clean. I like to fight effectively. We're going to come out, skip, and then hit the Mawashi Geri down afterwards. So we go from a very close place out just to give us enough space to deliver the Mawashi for our leg. For Wesley, that's a little bit longer than me. But again, that's not my problem. It's my fight. It's not Wesley's fight. It's my fight. Okay? We all understand this. Short skip back in. And don't forget, when we skip back, ball of the foot, so straight away, we can go off. Not a 1, 2, 3, 4. That isn't enough time. The person's back on you again. Okay? We all good with this?
Definitely.
Yes? Okay, excellent. 10-10 exercise. And back to Wesley, and time is eating away at us. So hopefully we can get some mid-range distance ones out there for you as well. But we'll see how time goes. Ready? Let's go. Remember, pay attention to the line you're on. Make sure you come back off of that, because if you're not, you're still not going to hit them with the Mawashi Geri. Go. And the other leg. 1. Skip back. Use this momentum. Back. Driving. Okay? Let's go. Ready? Good. Excellent. On our backs, please. So we're going to do V sit-ups. Okay? Nice and flat, up, down. Okay? Try and make them a little bit explosive, not so slow. Okay? Just 10, 10, 10. Okay? Ready? 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 8, 8, 7, 6. Up you get. No hands. Drink and over to Wesley. Os.
Os. All right then. Good session, guys. Time is. I'm thinking, oh, we just covered like 30 to 45 minutes. We're already ahead of an hour now, so we've got 30 minutes left. Here is a nice question by Gary, and I like this question. All the other questions were good as well, but it was actually, I was thinking of going to this as well. So you're kind of in the right timing.
And Wesley's really associated with this question as well because he's a little bit over 60 kilos.
Yeah, that's right. Just a little. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not a little guy anymore like Darren. 7 kilograms. Jesus. So the question is, as someone who is a little bit over 60 kilograms and is not so flexible. So again, this is why I relate. What is the best way to get in close against a more flexible opponent? And this is always something I trained a lot on because I was always under under the 60 kilogram line, or just a little bit over. Now I'm not anymore. And also I like to kick, and I can do it. I can do it pretty good. So I knew my opponents were going to try this. So as I said, we were talking about this last week. What kind of tactics did you use? This was one of the tactics I used and tried to be familiar with, because my opponents were probably going to do this or something like this, because they wanted to, from far away, they would like to get in close and probably kind of go in left, right, and then be there, because otherwise they were going to get a kick in the face. So something I add on this is that if we stand over here, when I go forward, there's two options. My opponent comes forward, or he will go backwards. So in this time, my opponent wants to come forward, because he probably knows, right, this guy's a kicker, let's do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lure him in even a little bit more. So I'm going to step to the back with my back leg. I'm going to go to the side and then jump in. So before I go into my opponent, I'm going to step back, step to the side, go in with a really long technique. And then I'm there. You can do the same with a Maigiri or something. It depends on how far the opponent is. But this movement makes my opponent wanting to go forward even more. This is where they think, let's go. I'm going to go to the side, jump in, straight ahead. So the techniques we're going to throw is 1, 2, Gyakuski, because I'm right leg forward with my left hand, Staski, low kick to the outside leg. So I'm going to be standing over here. 1, 2, 1, 2, hey, and there we are. Backwards, sideways, Gyaku, Staski, and low kick. 10 times on the left, 10 times on the right. Backwards, side, and in. That's key. There we go. Come on, take. And itch. Knee. Sun. Sheesh. Go. You can see I cover a lot of ground. Rook. Sish. Ash. Push. Last one. Mawate. One thing you need to think about, I'm quite easy on my arms. When I fight and spar, I'm not always the one with the hands up highest. But that's because I'm trying to be a smart fighter and a quick fighter, so I don't get kicked a lot in the face. Hopefully you keep it that way. But when you go there, don't let this hand drop. Because as soon as you go forward, your face will jump into a Jodan Mawashigiri. So make sure that when you go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, over there, high. I'm not the best role model in this. There we go. Come on, take. And knees. Sun. Sheesh. Go. Rook. Shish. Ash. Goose. Last one, people. Shish. Aisha. Good. And because she's there, I'm gonna do them. The jam pumps. 30 times. Ready? Those legs, those mind gears forward. Keep your fingertips forward as well. Only 30 times. Are we clear? There we go. And ich, ni, san, shi, go, rup, sish, ash, go, ala. Ni, san, shi, go, rup, sish, ash, go. 20. Ni, san, shi, go, rup, sish, ash, go, aisha. Stand up without using the back, boys. Over to Mr. Stringer. And Gary, I hope this is something you can work on.
So guys, we're not too far off from the end, but let's see if we can get you one or at least 2 more in. Definitely this one. So, obviously, I've never associated with being someone on the larger side of life, but you need to pay attention to people that do. So, Gary, I appreciate that you're quite a tall and a stocky man, which is good in a lot of ways. Because even when you're fighting 60-kilo people, yeah, you need to reside to certain things that when you fight people. If he's 30 kilos lighter than me, he's probably going to move better than me. He's probably going to be a bit quicker than me, okay? But he's also going to be smaller than you. So that means that he has to take either twice as many or twice as bigger steps as you do as a bigger guy to cover the same ground. Now, I thought this guy actually was from Wesley's dojo, actually, Remco. Now, he was massive. I mean, how big was Remco? I'd say maybe 6'3", at least.
Yeah, 60.
At least anyway. And I was 62 kilos or whatever it was at the time. He was huge. He was so big that when he was hooking me, he was actually hooking me in my back because his arms were so long. So there are certain situations when these extreme measures of sizes will come along. But you need to pay attention to the way that people of a similar size to you react and respond and deal with these instances. Now, Felix Damaza is a perfect example of this. He fights Clicker all the time. He's a big dude. He's really big. He's not only really big height-wise, but he's like 115 kilos, somewhere around about that distance. Okay, he fights in quite a long stance because he wants to make you feel like his presence is there. Even if he's not going to be like me and Wes, darting in and out, using lots of energy, he's thinking about it smartly. And what if you look at the way that Felix operates, he's always operating on kind of little angle. He's not so much coming in on this straight line because this becomes obvious. Now, you're talking about fighting against people that are really quick, Gary. This kind of direction is not going to be potentially for you. Now, you need to make sure that we're coming in, as Wesley said, back, out, angles, etc. Because if we can steal these little movements slightly away from the person, someone like me, it's 2 steps to get away from that. Okay, and if you continue to close that person down, eventually you're going to wear them down because they're probably going to get tired. People don't realise how much energy and how much you have to work to be a really active, moving fighter. Someone like Gary O'Neill, Michael Thompson, even Nick DaCosta, all of them people, very active, moving fighters. It expends a lot of energy. By the end of the 2nd or the 3rd round, you've used up a good amount of your resources in your tank. Okay, whereas potentially an Eastern European or a Japanese fighter that's moving like this will have been much more efficient throughout that time period. So you need to pay attention to how you're gonna react on these. So, anyways, what you need to think about is that a long arm technique or a long leg technique is going to mean the world of difference to someone who's 6 foot versus someone like me who's 5'6". Okay, the moment you throw a Maigeri that goes, I don't know, 180 centimeters out this way, it's a long distance for me to then come back in. So we're going to work on some long techniques for the likes of you, Gary, that keep the little peewees of the world away from you, and then that means that you can use that momentum to step in after that. Okay, so we're going to use a Maigeri here, and I don't like this so much myself, but same with Wesley. We're going to use this little movements to the side, okay, because we don't want to get caught into this trap here. So we're going to move to the side, throw the technique, and then as we throw the technique, we're going to leave that leg forward, and then that's where we close down on the little person, okay? So that's all we're going to do. We're going to be in here, out, 1, 2, 3, okay? And you can see that I've created quite a lot of space with my little legs. Imagine what Felix could do with his massive legs, or Wesley with his massive legs, yeah? Just about adjusting yourself into a certain situation. Use the length on your legs, people. If you're tall, use it to your advantage. If you're small, use your speed. Use your strengths, okay, in your tactics. Ready? Okay, so there, out, Maigeri, 1, 2. Okay, let's go. Emphasis. Ready? 8. Knee. Good, and the same with the other leg. Okay. Out, throw, Gyaku, Shasky. Ready? Let's go. so we're going to practice on some long movements now. Okay, so we're going to try and operate our legs from a really long lunge position. Okay, because if we can operate from the likes of all the way here, then these longer movements don't become so strenuous. All of us practice short, all of us practice condensed, and we wonder why we can't move at a longer distance. Okay, so we're going to take a really long lunge, 10 little dips, making sure it's really, really long. So we're here, and we're just dipping up and down, 10 on the left, change, 10 on the right. And then we're operating these muscles that are then going to start pushing us, driving us forward. Okay, let's go. Ready? Long, 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 long lunge, as long as you can manage. For some people there's more flexibility, but let's try. Okay, ich, ni, san, shi, do, ruk, shish, ach, ju, up and back. Ich, ni, san, shi, do, ruk, shish, ach, ju, up. Get yourself a drink. Probably over to Wesley, I'd imagine.
Oh, no. It's about time to question.
It is time.
It's 10 minutes left, and to be fair, I think we covered quite a lot.
Please have a little drink then. Right. So let's have a stretch, shall we? No worries, Gary. Hopefully it's of use. Obviously, I can't associate with someone your size, but I can potentially help out a little bit by what I've experienced as well. And, long techniques. You have to face facts. As a bigger guy, you can take more punishment. So don't be afraid. Step in, get hit a couple of times. Chess game, as Wesley said, sometimes you sacrifice a pawn to take the queen. Sometimes you sacrifice a pawn to take the castle, okay? Use them kind of methodologies. If someone's just kicking you and it's not really hurting you, does it really matter if you get caught a couple of times? It matters long term, of course it does. But here and now, if I'm in the final and the person's just tapping me, step in, just give it to him. Make him do the work. Don't be afraid to just cover up, get hit a couple of times, enjoy that sensation of being hit, and taste it one. You've got to enjoy the sensation of being hit. Otherwise, we are all doing the wrong sport. Because Kyokushin, I'm afraid, is about being hit. The more you enjoy it, the less you fear it. The less you fear it, the more you can do about it. Okay? Right, let's go. So let's drop down, bring our bums through the center, knees just pushing these out. Wasn't an overly hard session today. A lot of thinking, I'm sure, for many of us, but not necessarily the hardest session we've had. So hopefully it was really beneficial to all of you, and maybe we can address this again in the near future for you. So any questions, just drop us an email or something. We can move on from there. Straighten the legs and elbows down.
Right now, feel free to ask them to us.
Oh yeah, of course, anytime. We're around. Don't expect an answer at 3 a.m. Don't get me wrong, but we will answer.
You answer me all the time at those times.
Yeah, but that's just because I've got you on high alert. Drop the heels in, drop through again. Let's edge those knees out a little bit more if we can. Last one, bring them straight again. Forward. Okay, right. So let's use that long lunge position that we was in earlier. Keep it on the side of the foot at the moment, and we're going to come through here and try and be on a nice straight line. Really try and open these shoulders as well. This is where I fall short in a lot of my areas because I don't pay as much attention to the top half of the body as I do the lower half. Okay. Through and in and hold. And come up, change sides, and over. Pitch. And up. Okay. So this time we're going to rotate round onto the ball of the foot. We're going to take the back end of the tricep onto the knee, and we're just going to twist through at the moment. Use this hand to support at the moment on your leg. Relax, over to the other side, same thing. Bottom end of the tricep, onto the thigh, and steady your weight with the other hand at the moment. Relax, back to the other side. This time what we're going to do is we're going to take the hand on the inside of the leg here. So not on the outside, bring it on the inside, wrap it around the back of your calf. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave the foot flat at the moment here. Next time round we're going to rotate here. Okay, so really try to force this hip open this way. And over to the other side first. And up, hand on the back of the calf, and push this open. And back over to the other side, this time on the Chusoku, around the back, in position. Drop your left arm onto the ground with your elbow and try to twist into that bent right leg. So through here, feel it in the hip of your right leg a little bit, and the groin of the hip flexor on your left. At least I do. You may feel it in more or less places. Back up onto the hand. Stretch it down. Try to drop the knee out to the side on this right leg, so don't leave it perfectly straight at the moment. Now drop it out to the side. Try and get your right foot onto like a Sokoto position. And up and change. Last side. So hand back through. Straight arm at the moment. Right elbow down. And now roll that knee out on your left leg. So your foot goes onto a Sokoto position. Really try and open them up and twist in. Back up, comes back to the center, elbows down, last bit. You're just going to drop the bum through one last time on the next one. Bring the heels in, drop down through the center, and just try to relax those hips open. It's really sunny out now. It looked like it was going to rain earlier, and now it's belting on me.
Not over here.
And up you get. Okay. Just shake your legs loose. Rotate your hips. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Untie away. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. So, today's lesson, very tactical. Hopefully a lot of information, a lot of valid information for all of you. Mainly surrounded around being smothered by your opponent, because when people feel like they're a little bit unable to cope with the length of your techniques, best way is to suck up that first technique that they're going to get hit with, and then get in, because they're not going to get hit as hard with the next few. Okay, I'm not saying it's an ideal approach, but if it makes life difficult for you, then their goal has been achieved. You know, their goal isn't to make you be able to fight as pretty and as nice as you'd like to. You know, their goal is to mess you up, rough you around, disturb your momentum. Okay, and if they're doing that, then they're successful. And probably a prime example of this are low grades, who are just starting out learning how to do some fighting stuff, you know, and they're really struggling with the fact that, oh my God, all I've done is a little bit of Marotta ski, an Oit ski. I've done 2 blocks. Maybe we've gone to 9th Q as well. But I know nothing. And they don't know no low kicks at the moment. Don't know no Stau skis. So what they're going to do, they're either going to run away or they're going to get in really close. If they're running away, makes it really difficult, and then you're in the boat that Gary's kind of talking about, trying to chase after this person all the time. And if they're coming in, then you're in the boat that kind of, I think it was John, or someone else mentioned. But there's always ways, there's ways to go around this, there's ways to adapt, and you need to be able to adapt and realise what you're good at, realise what you're weak at, and vice versa on other people, and always steal things from people. Oh, I like the way he does that. I'm going to try that out, see if it works for me. It may or it may not, but you never know until you try.
Us. again, all of what Darren just said is very, very true. This was a very, it wasn't a very hard session. It was a good session, not the hardest we've ever done. But if you look at the way to get better, this is the way to think about your weaknesses, your strengths, obviously, and make it better. As we said, I think we said it earlier this week, it's not a one size fits all. Not everyone can train and fight like Darren. Not everyone can train and fight like me. It's stupid to start a class and put like, all right, so this is the way Darren fights. Now you guys are going to do the same. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you. What does work is thinking about, hey, what is my toughest opponent? What is my weakness? And to make that better in so many different ways. So that's what hopefully today was a very valuable lesson for all of you, and to see in a close range distance fighting, what can we do? What kind of things are there to be more annoying to the opponent, to make myself some space so I can finally get in that fight the way I want it to be. So yeah, thank you all. It was amazing. And if you might have any questions or something to say, please let us know. And we can't wait for you all to see on Tuesday. So thanks again. Have a great and terrific weekend, and think about us.
Enjoy, guys. Unmute yourselves, I guess.
Yes, now everybody can.
Glad to hear it, Annie, John, Damon. No problems.
Excellent. Next session. Good methods of, stopping people coming in on you.
Yeah, it's going to happen, you know. And,
no, that's what I always found. Like I say, that was the thing I found the hardest, when people just ran at me and smothered me. So apart from sticking my arm out and just keeping them away, it was techniques of, like, as you say, going sideways and things like that. Excellent. Very well done.
To think about when the person's in close, you know, them long techniques, them outside low kicks, they're going to mean nothing. If the person's bigger and stronger than you, they're pointless doing it. You're just building yourself up for failure. You know, you're in really close and you're thinking, yeah, if I just keep on chopping his outside leg, it's going to work wonders. It's not. It's going to work wonders for him because he's on the upper hand. Wesley said, inside low kicks, straight techniques. Give yourself some really standard techniques that are going to get you out of trouble in a variety of situations.
Yeah.
And then you can start building on your experience. But until you start getting yourself out of trouble, benefits don't start coming. And, you know, and that's for all of us. I mean, we had to learn that the hard way. You know, Wesley started off and he was 5 years old, and I think the youngest kid he was fighting at the time was 7 or 8. So that's a big difference when you're 5 years old. You know, when I was 60 kilos and everyone else was 72, it's a big difference. You know, but you are your worst enemy and your greatest weapon all at the same time. All at the same time. And
that's so true.
We all are victims of this. You need to start thinking about what works for me, what works for Wesley, and how can I adapt that works for my body type, So good effort today, guys. Super stuff. And
thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you Tuesday. Yes.
good stuff.
Thanks, Enzos.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good seeing you.
Something I'd like to add on today is if you're interested in tactics and stuff like that, there's a guy. He's a Japanese guy. He's very cool, and he's got some very, very cool stuff about tactics and the way the eyes go and stuff like that. His name is Dr. F. Dr. Futsai. The phytology guy. And I actually got his book, and I've seen a lot of his videos and stuff, and I've been in contact with him. But he looks at it really scientifically. So one thing we did today is when the opponent is close by, the eyes go there. So when the eyes go to the part closest to you, there's a lot which we can't see, and that's what we would need to explore ourselves. So when we're over there with the opponent close by us, what will work and what definitely won't work. Because something, if you're over there, there's a lot of stuff that won't work, but there's also loads of stuff that will. So that's very interesting, and I think it's very good if you guys just follow him on Facebook and stuff like that, because it's cool stuff.
He is, and also just to spin off of that, the same guy, he's adapted some of the techniques from when he was delivering maybe Mawashi-geris in one way when he was a young, flexible, fit guy, to now when he's, I don't know how old he is, but he's mid-50s and he's something
yeah, between 50 and 60, I think he is, yeah.
Shows you the ways that he's adapted his body throughout the years to deliver these kicks still. So the likes of Gary, and I can't remember who else was talking about being a bit stiff and things like that, and you know, adapt to your body type as it ages through. You know, none of us are the same as we were 10, 15 years ago. That's a fact. You know, it doesn't mean that we still can't do these techniques. You need to look for ways that your body will still deliver these things throughout the years. So otherwise, you know, you're just going to lose interest in training. You're going to come here every single time and go, Jesus, I can't do this, and look at them, they're doing that. No. We do it the way we do it because we're able to do it that way. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be 100% the same way for you guys. Look, check him out, because Wes is right. He's got a lot of good aspects on him, and he's done a few courses in Europe as well. So if you see him coming up, maybe it's a good idea to go and see him, because he isn't the youngest man in the world, but he's still able to do a good amount of things, and that is what we all want.
Cool. That was just something extra for today.
Oh yeah.
Great work.
Okay. Bye-bye. See you Tuesday.
Guys.
Guys.
All the best. Enjoy your weekends.
Thank you, guys.
so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. No problem, Michael.
You take care. Thanks, Wes.
Thank you.
No worries. Welcome, please. Enjoy.